W's and L's, the weekly recap show where we give a dub to the things that we do like and an L to the things that we don't. I'm going to go first. My first dub this week goes to none other than Chance the Rapper.
Chance the motherfucker rapper.
Chance is gearing up to release an album this year of his own, it seems like. And, you know, his last at-bat wasn't the best product. But it seems like he might be going in a different direction. I believe a few weeks ago we listened to a song called Child of God. You weren't the...
Oh, that's a different direction. Is it?
Well,
it's not a different direction. It's the same direction.
It's not, because you didn't like Coloring Book.
But okay.
But that wasn't what I was talking about specifically.
Go ahead. I'll let you get it off. Go ahead.
Because he also released a song with, I think it was a feature called ACAB, All Cops Are Bastards. And it's just, it seems like he's in a different headspace, at least the way he's rapping. Right? It's not very popish. It's not very, this is for TikTok clearly. So it seems like he's going in a little bit of a different direction. Recently, within the last couple of days, he released a video with Vic Mensa, who he came out with. He did the whole Save Money thing with them originally. Gotcha. Yeah, I realized came out is probably not the best choice of words in this day and age. Anyway, he released a song with Vic Mensa, and they refer to it as a writing exercise.
Side note. For a period of time, I was convinced that the dude from Hamilton and Vic Mensa were the same person.
That's, you know what? I could see Vic Mensa doing some shit like that.
Like seen him in Hamilton, seen him in Snowpiercer. I'm like, that's Vic Mensa. And then I seen his name. I was like, wait, no, that's not. Oh, I was just positive that was Vic Mensa.
I could see that happening. I could definitely see that.
That's fucking hilarious.
So this is a little bit of an excerpt from the song that they released. Like I said, it's called it's Writing Exercise 3. I think the song is actually called Wraith.
Maybe I need to hear this again. But it doesn't sound like he's talking about shit. But it's this. Okay, let me be fair. This sounds better than anything on New Day. Anything. Including Hot Showers, which I sing frequently. Because of the ridiculousness of the song.
You love it.
No, because the song is absolutely ridiculous.
Because you love it.
I rap that song the same reason why I be like, move like a snake. Move like a snake. For the same fucking reason. Because it's absolutely ridiculous.
Because you love them.
Mm-mm.
It's ridiculous how much you love them. Anyway.
But, that song is better than anything on New Day. Anything.
Yeah. Yep.
Again, maybe I just need to listen again, but it didn't sound like he was talking about not a goddamn thing.
He might have been talking about it a little bit, but substance-wise, sure. Probably not. But
I'm moving a house and I'm moving a lake. Then I go outside and pick up a rake.
But the flow and maybe the mind space of how he's received as opposed to making pop TikTok songs.
Better start. Much better start.
And it's a writing exercise. I mean, I don't know what he was focused on. The song is called Wraith, so...
Oh, well, actually, that makes a lot more sense. I thought you said the song was called Writing Exercise.
Well, it's Writing Exercise number 3, Wraith.
But it's a literal writing exercise that he's doing. It makes sense that he's not talking about shit because he's just literally writing words that rhyme. Okay, that makes total sense now. Okay.
It seems like he's in a much better headspace in making an album.
I don't know what that means for this next album. That doesn't give me shit for what the next album is.
If that's what he's using as an exercise, better than the New Day.
Fam, do you believe that's the first time that you don't think he did a writing exercise when he wrote the New Day?
I can guarantee
he just skipped that part of the process.
Writing exercise for the New Day was worse. I can guarantee that much.
But okay, I just don't know what that means for this next album. But we'll see.
Can you not at least agree that he's probably in a better headspace to make better music?
I don't know what kind of headspace Chance is in.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay. Fair enough. Sticking with music that I'm anticipating, it seems that Joey Badass is going to release an album June 17th.
My nigga Neek. Unique.
Yeah, he's already done filming Raising Kanan season 2, I would assume. So... he's about to release an album. His critically acclaimed album was named 1991. This is going to be named 2000. So excited to see what that's going to be like. His last at-bat with All American Badass was a good album to me. probably one of my top albums of that year. I think it was 2016. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Definitely looking
Shout
forward
out
to
to
it.
Neek.
On to my L's. This is going to be fun. Last week, I gave an L to Jack Harlow. And I feel bad because essentially I'm giving him an L for the exact same reason the next week. I feel bad because it feels like I'm phoning it in, but he deserves it.
Okay.
Last week, I talked to you about the album that he made, and I'd only listened to 4 songs from the album. Since then, I had seen 2 reviews, and I felt like the hate he was getting was an over-exaggeration because I was like, Jesus Christ, everybody hates this man. So let me listen to more of the album to just be sure that, you know, the hate that he's getting isn't warranted. Mm-hmm. I listened to a song with him and Justin Timberlake. Probably the worst Justin Timberlake performance I have ever heard in my life. The song was absolutely garbage. And I think some of the things that he said in that song, like he was just, what you said Chance did in that song is literally
what he did.
What Jack Harlow did. He just rhymed a bunch of words that didn't really mean anything to the song. And it was whack on top of that. Like the shit was just all whack.
Yeah.
Listen to a song with Pharrell where Pharrell made the beat and did the hook. Probably the worst Pharrell beat and hook I've ever heard in my life.
Sounds like disrespect.
Which is legit. It sounded like, I think Sean C actually said this. It sounded like one of those beats you would hear on like those old NBA games, from like Sega Saturn or Nintendo 64. No, that's NBA Street.
That is NBA Street, ain't it?
Yeah,
and
that
2K.
was fire.
That was on the 2K too.
I'm talking about
2K
way
17,
when you couldn't
2018.
even. You would look at a basketball player and you couldn't tell him from another basketball player. You couldn't tell Grant Hill from Shaq, other than that they were a little darker. So, yeah, like, literally, I found myself hating Jack Harlow the more I listened to this album. The hate that he's getting is not unwarranted. Also, when people on my timeline say, oh, y'all just hate white rappers for real. I love Eminem. I love Mac Miller. I don't fucking hate white rappers just because it's a thing to hate white rappers.
I think we hate white rappers as much as you hate black country music stars.
And then somebody on the timeline had said that Jack Harlow, the reason why people hate Jack Harlow is because he's a white guy protecting black women.
I hated that shit. She deleted that shit before I actually got a chance to see it. I just saw all of the hoopla that came after that. Boy, like, remember when we were talking about Kendrick's track?
I'm still
remember
confused.
when we were talking about Kendrick's track?
Yes.
That's exactly what the fuck that was. Let me just smack a hornet's nest.
Yeah.
Bare hands, lock myself in the closet. I'm gonna smack the fuck out of hornet's nest. Like, girl, why would you?
Black women are a large part of the reason why Jack Harlow has blown up the way he has. They're a huge part of the fan base, and I think that this shows that the tides are kind of shifting a little bit. We want a rapper, we want to engage in rap music, but not one that makes us feel like shit, not one that makes us feel degraded. Maybe we want a man with a little bit of swag, but not one that makes us feel deprioritized over every other type of woman. We want to feel safe, and Jack Harlow is providing that safety to black women.
I'm still confused in my head about how somebody could even come to that conclusion.
We just want protection, and Jack Harlow gives us that.
How, Sway? How? By making terrible rap music?
Jack Harlow protects you from who? I don't even really be hearing Jack Harlow talk about, yeah, love your woman, protect you. Like is that is that his stilo? Like I don't listen to enough of him to know like what his thing is, but is that his thing, like rapping to women?
No.
Like, what the fuck?
Never mind the fact that he defended Tory Lanez being on his remix because of the whole Megan situation. Never
Oh,
mind.
So Jackie Boy can be with Tory Lanez. He's cool. It's okay. He's a white rapper. But the baby got to get canceled. All the niggas that fucked with Tory Lanez got to get canceled. That's crazy.
I'll give you one black rapper who does actually protect black women that black women don't give enough credit to. Wale?
Sure.
Wale?
Sure, yeah. Shout out to Will.
But no, we love Jack Harlow because he's white and has a beard.
Wale can get a bit pandery. But also, that's Wale's demographic, though. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be mad at anybody talking to their audience.
No, I can't either.
And again, that ain't all black women that think that. I don't even know no black women
too.
that listen to Jack Harlow on a regular basis. I won't say that because I got younger.
It seems to be his fan base somehow.
Family members. I don't know anybody over 25 that listens to Jack Harlow.
Oh, you do, Alex.
I was talking about women, but he can slide over there too if that's where he at.
Okay, women. Aquila is probably
By default.
No, baby, Jack Harlow. Listen to this. No.
Jackie Boy, put him on. I can just see it like, you know how old men listen to Sinatra. He's gonna put on some Jack Harlow.
Ugh.
Put on some Jackie Boy. Pour me a stiff drink, honey.
The last thing I'm gonna say about Jack Harlow. Last week when I gave him that L, I couldn't figure out for the life of me a good comparison for Jack Harlow.
Yeah, we did. Remember Joyner Lucas?
Well, we eventually came up across something, but I was at a loss for words. Jack Harlow is like if you drove by a McDonald's with your mom and McDonald's was advertising Drake 2 for $5 and you're like, gosh, I really want that Drake burger, right? And your mom tells you, we got Drake at the house. She pulls out Drake out of the freezer, puts it on the oven to thaw. She cooks it.
And now it's Jack Harlow.
And then she doesn't season it. That's Jack Harlow. That's Jack Harlow to a T.
So a Paula Patton cooked burger is Jack Harlow.
Yep. A Paula Patton cooked Drake burger.
Damn.
It's Drake without the seasoning, dog.
You know what I was listening to the other day that just so happened to come up when I think I was cutting the grass or something like that. False Prophets. Fam, yeah. I think we might have had a conversation about this on the pod before. That is one of the most hypocritical songs. One of the most hypocritical diss tracks I could then remember in recent history.
Yeah, but it was
worse than Remy, writing Sheether and just basically making shit up.
No, Sheether was hard too.
It was hard, but none of it was it was just a whole bunch of shit.
No, she definitely.
Like if that's all you had to do to make a diss track, then anybody can make a diss track.
Definitely fucked Ebro.
Hmm?
Nicki Minaj definitely fucked Ebro and Trey Songz.
I'm talking about the 360 deal and all that other shit. All the shit with Safari and all that shit. Like,
oh yeah, Safari.
She just made that shit up and said it like she's not in the 360. Her butt didn't deflate while she was fucking Safari.
I don't know that. I wasn't here.
Okay, well, we know Safari has no reason to be loyal to Nicki Minaj, and he said that shit didn't happen. So I tend to believe Safari, a man who has no loyalty anymore to Nicki fucking Minaj, more than I believe goddamn Remy Ma, a woman who's beefing with Nicki Minaj. I don't know,
bro. Safari is the same person that sent me that text while I was in Chicago.
It was not Safari.
That's the same type of person.
It was not. Well,
the person
sure.
you made the joke about is the same type of person.
Yes, absolutely. yes.
Safari knows that the ops are on 60.
Okay, all right. Would the nigga you talking about, would he stand up for his version of Nicki Minaj today? Do you think?
Yeah, no. Well, see, the thing is, that person would actually probably tell everybody.
No, she would. I'm saying, would he defend her?
Yes.
Fuck no.
Yes.
For what reason?
Just so he could tell everybody about the situation. Oh yeah, I hit and it deflated. I was there. I saw it. That shit was crazy, fam. That would happen. Shit was a movie, bruh.
Shit. Oh my God. Man. Okay, is it my turn?
No. Oh man. All right.
What the fuck? Oh my God.
Next L. Next L. Did you see the video? I'm sure you did, of Amber Heard in court doing coke.
Mental condition.
It doesn't. It's still hearsay, Your Honor.
Hey, look.
I can't confirm that she did coke.
All I'm gonna say is, she is the baddest motherfucker alive if she was doing coke. Like, she the baddest motherfucker on the planet. I would beat up Johnny Depp if I was Amber Heard if she really did some coke up there. Because you just can't fuck with me. Right? I am not human.
Yeah.
I'm not a human being. I snort lines next to the judge. I'm on another planet. Like, she's on another level of not fucking with me if she actually snorted the coke. And I'm tending to believe her because this is the same woman that looked Johnny Depp in his face and told him that no one would ever believe that I beat you because I'm a woman, and then got out there and cried me too. She's on another level of you can't fuck with me.
There are no consequences to being Amber Heard.
It doesn't seem like it. I don't want to believe that she's that dumb though, because it's recorded and we can just literally sit back here and watch you do that.
She definitely went
over and over and over again. Now, usually when you put a tissue to your nose, you blow. Why I would want to inhale a fucking Kleenex? Don't know. Maybe there's something on the Kleenex. Maybe it was saline. Maybe she was going to sleep and somebody passed her some smelling salt.
A little weird to be doing either one of those things on the stand. You can't wait.
Maybe she was sleepy.
She was doing coke. She did a bump right next to the judge.
She a bad motherfucker. She was doing a bump right there next to the judge. She's bad.
Woo.
Like in real life, she is her. First dub, giving it out to TB12 for setting up, as he comes out of retirement to continue to play football, sets up his post-retirement career. Now, we talked about Amber Heard having a boss move. This is of the same ilk. Like, I'm so gangster, I'm going to unretire to play, but set up my retirement at the same time.
As much as I hate Tom Brady, the fact that he did this and is about to be paid more than guys like Stephen A. Smith,
fam,
$285
million.
It's wild.
That boy getting Steph Curry money to talk about football. Hey, I can't do nothing but respect it. Shout out to the GOAT.
Crazy enough, I'm sure Tony Romo is better than Tom Brady is.
He may be. He ain't getting paid more money.
That's a fact.
He may be.
It's a fact. It's a fact. The fact is a fact.
Tom Brady might get out there and be absolutely awful, y'all. He might be fucking terrible. They're on the hook for $300 million.
You can never be mad at somebody securing the bag like that. As much as I hate Tom Brady.
He may be god awful.
We wouldn't know.
$285 million. Shout out to the GOAT. First L. Let's get serious for a second because this is a serious one. Is going out to the state of Israel, I guess is what we have to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I say country, and then somehow that includes a Palestinian state that has existed for thousands of years outside of Israeli rule.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we'll say the territory of Israel, the government of Israel. While conducting some more random strikes in Palestine this week, they actually murdered a Palestinian American journalist from Al Jazeera. Her name, I am sure I'm going to butcher it. So if we have any Palestinian American, watchers, viewers, squad homies, please bear with me. I'm doing my best. Shireen Abu Akleh. I'm giving them an L. It's during one of their random strikes that they often carry out in Palestine. They killed yet another civilian. The civilian was a Palestinian American journalist from Al Jazeera. Her name, and if I have any Palestinian descent watchers or viewers, Squad homies, bear with me. I'm doing my best. Shareem Abu Akili.
A clay.
Not as if it wasn't bad enough that she was murdered. That she ended up being cannon fodder in some more genocidal attacks. And it's really, honestly, there's nothing other to call it than that. Leading these strikes in a strip of land that's being occupied on both ends. These people have nowhere to go. It's their ancestral land. And regardless of what your religious text says, your Supreme Court has found that you are illegally occupying that land. I believe NATO has determined that you are illegally occupying that land, but you have, the favor of Western powers, and they allow you to do your business as you see fit, the same way that they allow the Saudis to do theirs. There's no difference. So it wasn't bad enough that they killed this woman, but at her funeral, as the procession is carrying her casket through the streets, the Israeli police begin to beat the pallbearers and the parishioners from the funeral service, because apparently it's illegal to fly a Palestinian flag in Palestine.
So let me get this right. It was Israeli forces that came and did that.
Yes.
I don't understand how this whole situation can become so inhumane that a person can't even go through a funeral procession.
I was watching it was like one of those shorts on YouTube, one of those TikTok videos or whatever. And the guy was talking about how Obama, in a particular airstrike, trying to kill members of Al Qaeda, killed a bunch of children, and honestly, it sounds like a random story, but it happens so often that it's just one of many. But ends up killing a group of children in an airstrike trying to kill members of Al Qaeda. And the guy who's talking about it actually happened on what is that show with George Chronopoulos on ABC. They do it every Sunday morning. That show, whatever. But he's just talking, and he's like, the danger in occurrences like this, where like you don't even acknowledge the fact that you've done wrong, or that someone was killed, needlessly, is that you begin creating motivations that are rooted in personal, like you're making the conflict personal. It's less ideological and more vengeance driven, right? It's some of the most dangerous seeds that you can seed, because there's no reasoning with them. There's no reasoning with that level of animus. There's no, okay, we've reached a point of conflict. Let's work our way back to some sort of agreement. No, that person is coming for total annihilation. Again,
inhumane in the fact that it's almost as if Israeli forces specifically don't even see Palestinians as people.
And now the response that you get from that is no longer it's no longer trying to get to a point of peace. No, I want you to be eliminated so that I feel safe, because I know that you will carry out any level of violence you see fit for any reason you see fit. And there is no rule. There are no rules of engagement. There's no guidelines that we're following here.
Yeah.
And so in that, it's the same thing that is happening with the Israeli government, because they are literally creating the enemies of tomorrow for themselves and for most of Western civilization, because they are the backers of this genocide that they're carrying out.
Mm-hmm.
You're creating motivations to oppose you that are not based in ideology. They're based in vengeance, and that's a much more dangerous way of going about it. This particular instance is just, it's disgusting, man.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me that any of this has anything to do with defending the state of Israel. Going to someone's funeral and beating the pallbearers has nothing to do with defending yourself. And anyone that can fix their mouth to say that shit is a fascist. In the midst of trying to convince him to do a meetup, he ends up revealing some information to him about what he's going through. It's a high school kid. It's like 15, 16 years old. He's getting bullied at school because his mom works on OnlyFans. All right? And so he tells him, you know, guys pull it up at school. They tease me constantly about it. He's even letting him know that he feels like it's time to press the end button on his days here. So at that point, imagine someone in our live streams or in our DMs or whatever saying that to you. What would be your first reaction or what is the first thing on your mind when you hear that coming from somebody?
I'm thinking, how can I get this person some actual help, some professional
because help? Me don't know anything. I don't even want to open up my mouth to reply to you because I don't want to say something that would push you even further towards that. I don't want to do anything wrong. I'm not a professional. You want to know what he did?
Uh-oh.
What's your mom's name, bro? Who's your mom? I just wanted to find out who your mom was. Who's your mom? Not only did he ask, because after that happened, dude bounced on him. Blocked him, never talked to him again, as he should have.
Okay, so the kid
bounced on him after he started asking who his mom was because, fam, I just told you that I'm getting bullied. You want me to tell somebody with a 1 million subscriber platform who my mother is so that they can link it to him? You want me to tell you who my mother is so that you can talk about this on your platform and link it to me?
This problem literally 1 million times worse.
And what does he do? What did he do?
He didn't.
He got on his fucking platform and talked about all of this.
Okay.
Thought it was all fine because I didn't say his name. I don't even know who his mom is. As if nobody in that kid's life is going to be able to connect this story back to him.
Right, for sure.
He's already getting bullied. Mm-hmm. Now one of the biggest streamers on the internet is talking about the situation, confirming what they already think, which is my mom is an OnlyFans worker.
Yep. Yeah.
We can have conversations about whether or not it's cool or not to be doing OnlyFans when your kids are in middle school or high school. But this conversation is about what responsibility you have as a content creator. If you gave a fuck about this boy at all and his thoughts of leaving this earth, the last thing you would do is get on your platform and tell more people about it.
Shows you don't give a shit about anybody who's following you.
On top of that, he in the middle of telling you about it, and the only thing you give a fuck is finding out who his mama is.
Yeah.
Talking about, I probably already jacked off to her. Literally said that.
He said that to the kid?
No, he said that on the platform, stream. Yeah. Okay. I probably already jacked off to her before.
That's still wild. Whether he said it then or not, it's wild thing to say.
Brittney Griner is just now getting seen in the court.
It's been
in Russia.
A month and a half, too?
It's been 2 months. And this is all over a CBD cartridge, y'all. It's not even marijuana. It's not even, it doesn't even include the active ingredient in marijuana that gets you high. It was fucking CBD through a vape. She's just now getting seen through a Russian court. I cannot stress how differently this situation would be going if we weren't talking about a black gay woman.
Let me ask you this.
How much of a fucking PR nightmare it would be for Joe Biden to be sitting back on his damn ass talking tough to Russia while there's an American citizen, an American celebrity citizen being held against, like.
Would this situation also not be different if it was LeBron James, Steph Curry, Giannis? I understand that kind of works against the point you just made, but now if it was a white man, he would have already been freed and everything.
If for nothing else, to support the corporation of the NBA, right? If nothing else than to serve the relationship between probably, Adam Silver or one of the owners, right, and having their asset being held by Russians, right? It'd be a little bit serving. I don't believe that WNBA owners and NBA owners run in the same circles.
Oh, of course.
I don't think they do.
I would agree.
I think there's levels to it, and I think they're probably down there with
literally everything NBA is on a different level than WNBA and obviously the G League.
I don't even know where I would put them in the pecking order, but
in
not
the other three?
not
Yeah,
in NBA franchise owners.
Yeah, I don't know where I would put that either.
So where Steve Ballmer may be able to make a call and actually get through to Biden, maybe the Minnesota Lynx owner can't.
Yeah, probably not.
Now, would I feel the same way about it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Does it change how quickly a response, how quick of a response we get? Maybe. I don't like to think of it in them terms because I don't think it matters. Right now, Brittney Griner is in Russia, and it doesn't seem like there's any urgency to get her back.
For sure.
Which is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I wanted to address a certain segment of our fandom, of our subscribership. It is the RecastTchalla segment for sure. I wanted to talk to y'all. I seen shout out to D Real, shout out to Theo B. Made a couple videos last night. Oh yeah, shout out to 400 subs for sure. They made a couple videos last week addressing the movement and kind of where we're at and what's going on, and I kind of wanted to take my swing at it, or take our swing at it, because I wanted to join in on that. I do see some of the questioning online, what are we doing now? What's going on? And what are we talking about? And how are we dealing with this? And do we even know if this is going on? So I wanted to, address some of that. Firstly, I think, and I can only speak from my perspective and the perspective of individuals that I've spoken with within the movement. Like, I think it was always something that we were in for the long run. And in saying that, people, you think you understand what that means and what comes along with that when you started out. But realizing it as we go, you realize that it literally we go through dead periods of news.
Yeah.
And there are certain spots where we can only respond to things and not necessarily be in front of the corporation. Mm-hmm. Right? We are at a disadvantage. We don't have the money. We don't have the networks. We don't have the reporters who don't want to ask the questions. So to that end, there was always going to be a bit of wait and see, I guess. What I feel like our responsibility is, and now I'm just talking back of the bus, is to continue to keep Tchalla and Black Panther here at the front and not at the back.
Yeah.
Right? And the ways that we can continue to do that is to continue to cover the IP. That's why we cover the comic book. That's why we talk about any comic book related news, or Black Panther related news that comes out, whether it's a rumor, whether it's, release dates, whether it's
think pieces on
think pieces.
The Flash.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it's any quotes that we're getting from red carpet events, from cast members, all of it. And we will always juxtapose it back to what we're fighting for in the movement, because that's the only way we can stay relevant until Marvel makes a move. Right? We've seen footage from Black Adam, a movie that's going to come out weeks before Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
We've already seen footage of it. We've seen nothing from Black Panther. Y'all think that's for happening's sake?
We seen
as Brother
footage
Bozeman
from
would
Black
say,
Adam like a year and a half out.
What's
So,
that?
like, we seen footage from Black Adam almost a year and a half out.
Yeah, I mean, we at least seen concepts, right? We've seen still shots, posters. We've seen actual live footage of Black Adam already. Nothing for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. It's done shooting, y'all. It's done. Bob Chapek confirmed this week that that movie is going to come out in 2022. As Derek Bozeman said, I don't believe anything happens for happen's sake. If those two movies are competing and one's not moving, why no synopsis? Why no stills? Why no concept art? Why no trailer? Why no teaser? There's a reason why they want to keep this quiet as long as they can. So our job, not just us here, but people who are asking us, what are we doing? How are we continuing? Is to continue to keep this conversation at the front of as many people's minds as we possibly can. I know that there's times where we talk about RecastTchalla on here where it feels like, God damn, are they going to talk about anything else? Or, God damn, does everything have to come back to RecastTchalla? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. It does. And it will. And it'll continue to be, because you're not going to come to this platform and not hear about Black representation. You're not going to come to this platform and not hear about how Marvel and Disney are planning to retire, to shelf, to put in the background, whatever you want to use to describe it, to no longer have seen the oldest leading Black character in Marvel. It needs to be said now. It needs to be said tomorrow. It needs to be said before the release, after the release, and on and on and on and on. I think a lot of us knew that this movie was going to come out. I think a lot of us know how they plan to handle it, or at least have a pretty good theory of how they plan to handle it. And so that's what we can respond to from now. That's what we can do for now. And when, I'm choosing my words very carefully, and when Marvel decides to begin capitalizing off the death of Chadwick Boseman, at that point, we will be in a position to address them in kind. The exact way we should address anybody who's hostile towards Black storytelling, Black identity, Black representation, anyone. We treat them the same way we treat anyone who has that attitude towards your identity, your ethnicity, your race. You. Anyone that treats you as a afterthought, as just merely as a demographic to be monetized. So be ready, I guess.
Yeah, be ready to.
Because when it happens, I'm going to be calling all of you who've been sitting around talking about what are we doing, what is the plan. I'm going to be expecting you to join in and to help put pressure on Marvel. Not no half stepping. Not, oh, I really like, Kevin Feige and Nate Moore and Ryan Coogler. I really like those guys, and I don't want to critique them too harshly.
And Marvel can do no wrong. And
if you're asking me what the next move is in RecastTchalla, ask yourself if you are willing to cut ties with Kevin Feige, Nate Moore, and Ryan Coogler. It's a serious question, because there are still people out there who want to give deference to those people and have RecastTchalla at the top of their minds. There is going to come a point when both of those things cannot happen at the same time. So ask yourself if you're willing to or ready to cut strings with those individuals, if that's what it means. I'm of the thinking, I'm already there. That's what it's going to take. It's going to have to take you cutting your loyalty with those individuals. And God knows I understand why that's going to be difficult, because they have given us content that we've loved and enjoyed. Honestly, that doesn't mean that they can't do something wrong. They're doing something wrong. Treat them like they're doing something wrong. Be ready to do that. Be ready to call out people that you like the way you would call out somebody that you don't.